I would have thought, given the circumstances, an independent investigation is in the interests of all, he told the ABC's Insiders program. No doubt there has been provocation in Gaza, but international law requires a proportionate response, and those people who have guns on one side and on the other side have rocks. The people with guns have a responsibility to act in a way that is proportionate. When you have all of the fatalities on one side of a dispute, then there needs to be an explanation as to how those circumstances have been done. Labour frontbencher Anthony Albanese said the UN inquiry would be in the interests of all. The Turnbull government needs to explain why it was isolated as one of only 2 nations to vote against an independent inquiry, Mr. Albanese said. More than 100 Palestinians have been killed since March 30 in a renewed flare-up of tensions in the Middle East, and approximately 12,000 have been injured, according to the UN. Mr. Albanese said this was doing damage to Israel's reputation, and also criticized the ongoing expansion of Israeli settlements in the West Bank and Gaza, which he said undermined the possibility of a 2-state solution, the outcome favored by both sides of politics in Australia. Mr. Albanese said Israel's blockade of the Gaza Strip, now in its 11th year, was causing enormous frustration for 3 generations of refugees living in Gaza without economic opportunities. It's understandable that Israel feels under siege given where it is in the world and given some of the Islamic fundamentalism that exists in many of the nations on its borders, he told Insiders, but fundamentalism of any sort, be it Judaism, Islam or Christianity, is bad. The NSW Labour Party agreed last year on a motion calling for Australia to officially recognise Palestine as a sovereign country, a resolution that will be hotly debated at the party's upcoming national conference. The protests that erupted in Gaza last week were in response to the Trump White House defying decades of U.S. policy and moving its embassy from Tel Aviv to the contested city of Jerusalem. Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull said Australia would not follow suit because it was more conducive to the peace process to keep the embassy in Tel Aviv, but he laid the blame for last week's death toll at the feet of Hamas, which was engaging in confrontational conduct by pushing people to the border, he said.